So please tell us something about yourself and your company AgriVijay.
Okay, so my journey begins with I'm a BTech and MBA in Agribusiness from Symbiosis. And after that, I have worked in the industry for 8 years in the diversified sectors inclined towards rural and agri space. I've worked at the senior level and middle level positions in various multinational companies. And after handling lots of things and building things from scratch, like I have built 3 startups for other founders in the Agritech and social impact space commercially. In 2020, I decided I should start something of my own, and my mother also motivated me to do that because she also wanted to do something in terms of business and commercial entity. She got retired from the government job and she wanted to do something. And since I was passionate about farmers and renewable energy, we were thinking about like how we can, bridge in both the interest and what we should start. So we decided why not club renewable energy with agriculture? Because if you club renewable energy with agriculture, you get a direct benefit. Renewable energy, it's a very beautiful product, or it's a vast sector. It covers biogas, solar, wind energy, or other green energy products. Hence, if you club renewable energy with agriculture, you will realize that all the farmers, if they are replacing any of the particular activity of the agriculture lifestyle with a renewable energy product, they immediately get the savings. So many of these startups in the space, agri-tech space, or many of the companies are looking to doubling of the income of the farmers, to double the income of the farmers. So we thought, because in COVID we realized all which was important was savings. So if you have savings, you can survive COVID, and even if your income is not there. So we decided why not double the savings rather than income. So since everyone was working on the income side, we thought let's work on the saving side. And we can easily witness that the moment you replace a renewable energy product with the fossil fuel in the farmer's lifestyle, you get immediate savings. And with savings, you will also contribute to the climate change. So we all are talking about climate change, and we all know that every year we are facing global warming issues and everything is there, but alone we cannot contribute that. And we are an agrarian economy. 70% of our population resides in rural areas. If if this population becomes a renewable energy producer and consumer, we will give a direct impact or direct contribution to the climate change. So I think there's a win-win situation in the whole ecosystem, and AgriVijay was born out of that as an idea, as a start.
That's amazing. And you also did your MBA in agribusiness. So,
Yes.
what was the reason behind choosing this particular field? And also, has like your family been in this in the farming sector like for generations, or you got some kind of exposure while you're growing up?
So I think I come from a non-farming background, and I did my BTech in bioinformatics, which is a way opposite than the agriculture or agribusiness sector. But in 2009, when I was in my engineering time, I realized that I wanted to do something which I keep on doing it all my life. Like I should not get bored, because when you want to work, you should be passionate enough to work, and you are not seeing the time, what time you're working, how much time you're working. So I found that which is the sector I want to work all my life and what interests me. I found being a grounded a professional. I realized agriculture was one thing where I think I thought, since traveling was my passion, I thought traveling to rural and rural vicinities and rural areas, I think that comforts me. And I decided to do something in agriculture. And then I found that why not have a post graduation in agribusiness, and MBA was the first priority, being the professional space and getting into the corporate world. And I realized that there are only few top colleges in the MBA agribusiness area, and I decided to fight for CAT and SNAP, and then I got into the biases with MBA agribusiness, and there's no looking back since then.
Right. So, can you explain about the products that you have right now?
So, as I said, renewable energy is a vast product. So, we have taken products which actually fit into farmer's lifestyle in his own comfort zone, which is important. Because if you are giving me a product which doesn't fit my lifestyle or which doesn't fit into my family easily, I will not ever try to buy it or even listen to you. So we have taken few of the products. So we have taken biogas digester, which can easily replace an LPG cylinder or a firewood, because most of the women, even today in villages, they are cooking on firewood. So we can easily replace firewood with a clean cooking fuel such as biogas. Biogas also gives us a byproduct, which is an organic slurry, a liquid organic fertilizer. So that liquid organic fertilizer can easily replace or reduce the amount of chemical fertilizer on your farm. So these are the two products. So it perfectly fit into the farmer lifestyle. Then we have biogas genset. So we all know every farmer has a diesel genset to run electric water pumps or milking machines or shaft cutters during the emergency time, or in the absence of access to energy. So we have replaced it with a biogas genset. So in case a farmer wants to increase his savings by reducing his dependency on fossil fuels such as diesel, he can easily install a biogas digester with a biogas genset. And the other main products, if you talk about solar water pumps, which can easily replace your electric water pumps with solar water pumps. We have solar inverters. So in case we all know that rural areas or agri areas are still struggle to get a complete 24 by 7 electricity. Hence, they can have a 6 to 8 or 10 hours of electricity, having a backup which can run on solar all day, which is a solar inverter. So these kind of products we have taken, considering the lifestyle of a farmer, and we can discuss his energy needs and waste availability at his end, and recommend and sell a solution to him so that he can start making his savings from the next day immediately when the product or solution gets implemented.
Right. So, if I'm not wrong, you are currently catering to the western part of India, mainly Maharashtra and Rajasthan. So, what are your
So
plans? Yeah.
yes, so we have started our operations in Maharashtra and Rajasthan in the beginning because we are a startup and we are bootstrapped. So as soon as we raise our first round of funding from the investors, we will be expanding towards Gujarat and Karnataka, covering all India in terms of south, north, west, and east zone. And then we will definitely try to expand our operations to other states as well, because renewable energy is the need of the hour and every farmer is actually looking forward to access it.
Right. So you have both online and offline shops right now. So when we talk about online shops, then it is especially difficult for farmers residing in like deep rural areas to have awareness about renewable energy and your product. So how do you ensure that they are aware about the renewable energy?
So, to be honest, even today, if you ask any farmer, he will never buy a biogas digester or a solar water pump online, because these are high ticket items, high value items. Hence, you have to be present offline, because you need to have a conversation with the farmer. You have to build that trust, because he is going to pay you in cash. Mostly, in most of the cases, he is going to pay you in cash. Hence, the offline stores are a major requirement, and these offline stores are actually not only selling the product but also educating farmers about the renewable energy benefits and the advantages. Because renewable energy, even today, is not the need of the farmer. You still have to generate that need, and to generate that need, you have to educate as much as you can. You have to proliferate the benefits of the renewable energy before he makes a purchase. We are doing this by our field sales team. We are doing this by our call centers, which works on the energy advisory consultative sales approach. We are also doing this by social media. We are also trying to do this through offline, which is our franchisee model of renewable energy stores on ground.
Okay. So did you face any difficulty any time in persuading them?
So I think renewable energy is the toughest sector when you talk about selling and implementation. Even today, you will never see a renewable energy working on the last mile consumer or last mile farmer in the villages. You will never see a company going deeply or penetrating to the areas, because the need is not there. So the biggest challenge is to convince the farmer on the renewable energy front, how it will benefit him in terms of his savings or in terms of his return on investment. Most of the farmers want to know that. So that's a difficult task. And if you talk about the conversion ratio, the renewable energy starts with 1 is to 10 as a conversion ratio. And as soon as you become as a brand or a growing company or a growing startup, you reach to the conversion ratio of 1 is to 5, which is good. Hence, I think initial stages are difficult and different, and we even today face challenges. We hear lots of no's before we get a single yes. So we get a 9 no's before we get a single yes, and it's okay because one solar water pump, if you sell a 3 HP solar water pump, is actually reducing 3 tons of carbon dioxide emission, which is a GHG emission. I think the amount of effort we are putting in is getting return on investment as a social impact, which is okay. And later on, we are going to scale and grow this impact to a larger extent. So we are hoping for that, and we are putting efforts also into that.
That's commendable. And also, if you look at the past and present of agriculture in India, then farmers are not so happy with their income. So, how, if we talk about numbers, then how much are they able to save by using such renewable products?
So it varies from person to person, because that's where this energy level discussion needs to happen, which has never happened. So suppose I'm a farmer and I have a requirement of 3 HP solar water pump. So normally farmers in the Rajasthan state, they go for a 3 HP or 5 HP solar water pump, and in other areas they go for a more horsepower solar water pumps. So a normal 5 HP solar water pump farmer saves around 24 to 30,000 rupees on diesel monthly if he is a vegetable farmer. So we have actually verified this on ground, and if you witness, he's saving. If you talk about an average of 20,000 a month savings for a farmer, it comes around 2.5 lakhs a year, and a 3 HP solar water pump or a 5 HP solar water pump comes in around about at the same cost. So your return on investment is actually in an year, and these renewable energy products comes with a warranty of around 10 years, 15 years, and 25 years. So the beauty of these renewable energy product is you get the return on investment in your first, second, third year, and you enjoy the rest of the warranty years with lots of savings, and without any dependency on anyone, whether in fossil fuel or any government entity or electricity. Hence, you become energy independent. I think that's the USP of the renewable energy product.
That's great. And AgriVijay has also received many awards and recognitions in just within a period of 6 months. So, can you please tell us about some of them, and if there is a particular one which was a turning point in your professional journey after which things were just not the same?
Okay, so yes, we have received lots of awards in the short tenure, and it is actually motivating and really overwhelming, because if the industry starts appreciating your vision and your hard work, I think you grow as a company and you grow as an organization, which is important for our employees, for our farmers, for our partners, to grow along in terms of relationship. I think there are two, basically, I would say, appreciation and award, which I think will be the major turning point for AgriVijay. Will be one was the first appreciation came from Mr. Gautam Adani, chairman and managing founder of Adani Group, when he actually appreciated our vision of empowering farmers with renewable energy. This was first time when we thought that we are on the right track. We are doing something right, and we because nobody is talking about us, and it's too difficult at times to to motivate your team, yourself. I think that came as a motivation that you are in the right direction. We have to keep moving on. I think the second turning point where I think AgriVijay started getting accolades and appreciation from all over the world was the award by FICCI, when we won the top Agri Innovator Award in COVID times by FICCI, which is a reputed body in the industry. And when you get awarded by a FICCI, it means that you are something in the vicinity. And we were among the all well and reputed funded startups in the Agritech space. That makes us very unique. And within short period of time, getting that award, having reached there, I think that meant a lot to us. And since then, I think we have actually profiled to a larger extent, and we have grown well since the month of Jan when we have received that award.
That's great. Congrats on all the
Thank you.
recognition that you received.
Thank you.
So, do you think that the Indian government is doing enough for like entrepreneurs like you in the agricultural sector?
I think if anybody wants to or always have dreamt of having an agri-tech startup, or always wanted to be an entrepreneur, I think this is the time. Uh, uh, if you talk about the government bodies, it has immense support. You can't even imagine the kind of support is coming from the government side, from the bodies such as FICCI, from the incubators, the accelerators. Everyone is actually supporting the agri-tech startups, and the kind of support I'm witnessing as of now, it's immense, and I'm totally in awe or in appreciation of the government, because these steps are actually making India Atmanirbhar. Because if you talk about everyone can talk about becoming an Atmanirbhar or startup and work, but to facilitate the ecosystem, it's very important. We have been part of lots of conversations from the government bodies, where all these startups are discussing the future plans and everything, and I've witnessed that the government is actually deeply involved in terms of supporting these startups. If you talk about Mr. Piyush Goyal or Ministry of Commerce or Ministry of Agriculture, everyone is actually driving the startup space in their own era, and the support is immense. Where they have initiated the startup fund scheme of 945 crores, which will run through 300 incubators. That's an important scheme. I think we are part of that ecosystem, and getting supported from the ecosystem, if you're working hard and in the right direction, it's very much required, because all these startups in the initial phase, they require support in terms of seed funding. Your working capital is requirement is good, because you don't make profit, you are in the negative if you are bootstrapped. And the moment till the time the investor comes in, you have to prove your traction and revenue in place before you pitch to the investors, and hence the seed fund or the capital, initial capital, becomes very important. I think government is really supporting into that, and we got selected under the RKVY Raftar program, which is a 25 lakh grant seed program, and we are incubated at NIAM incubator also, NIAM Agribusiness Incubator at Jaipur, under the Ministry of Agriculture, Government of India. So support is immense. We are incubated at Indigram Labs Foundation as well, which is a private incubator. We are also supported and incubated at AAC ADT Baramati Foundation, which works with Niti Aayog and Atal Innovation Mission. So support is immense. It's just that you have to reach them out. You have to work out your ways, and you have to keep working. And as an entrepreneur, you have to work 24/7 to make your organization grow as a startup well in the agri-tech space, because things are difficult, things are challenging. It's rural and agri. I think everyone needs to put in some efforts into that regard. You will definitely get a response, and the ecosystem currently is the best time if you want to have your own agri-tech startup in this space.
So is there enough optimism, like in spite of COVID-19?
I won't deny the fact that COVID-19 has impacted the morale of lots of entrepreneurs. And since we are a B2C company, our field team needs to go and on the field and talk to the farmers. And now, because of the restriction, they cannot go and talk to the farmers. So the challenge is there. We are witnessing the decrease in serving the demand, and to as a startup, it becomes more challenging, because your costs are running and your sales go down. It actually impacts your traction and revenue, everything. So it's challenging, but I think we all are in the same boat. I think investors and everyone understands that, and I believe this time will end soon, and we all startups will get back to our growing ground again, with support of investors and the ecosystem.
Yes, we can only hope for the best.
Correct.
So, other than funding, would you be interested in scaling across the country by any means of collaboration with other startups or small businesses? If yes, how do you think you can do that?
Yes, so we are in touch with lots of organizations in terms of partnership on ground. We are in touch with Cropton in terms of onboarding the farmers together, empowering them with Cropton advanced technologies and data science approach. We are also in touch with community financing in terms of listing our products on the platform. We are also in touch with lots of NBFC and banks, so that we can be able to provide financing on our products in the future also. So partnerships are important, and we are doing that wherever we can, because we need a partner who understands renewable energy and climate change on a larger scale before we enter into the partnership. So we are doing that, and we have already partnered with 20 startups which are listing their products on a platform and selling their products on a through a platform. I think that is already up and running on the back front, and we are looking for more partnerships where we can actually empower farmers not just with renewable energy but other products as well.
Right. So you started AgriVijay with your mother. So what has her role been like?
So, when you start something within your family, I think the major aspect or a support you get is one is funding, definitely. The second is the maturity in terms of decision making, because whenever you want to make a decision and you require a mature advice on that particular decision as a CEO of the company, I think it helps a lot. Her major role has always been giving me a second opinion about the decisions I'm making, and also the Rajasthan and call center operations. She has been looking after that. So she has been a major support in building AgriVijay, because we are running in two states, and renewable energy is a very difficult and intense technology sector. Hence, you need to be there wherever you are working in terms of penetration or implementation. So when I look after Maharashtra in terms of traveling, or I am in a travel in Maharashtra region, she looks after Rajasthan, or if I'm in Rajasthan, she looks after Maharashtra. So she keeps on switching the roles, and she keeps on supporting me on the advisory level as a co-founder.
That's good. Can you share us like the most valuable advice that you received from her?
Okay, so there was an investor we got from, I won't name the investor and the country, but we were about to get receive of funding from an angel investor. There are certain alignment in the vision of that particular investor for our startup, and he had a different thought process about renewable energy and farmers, and we had our own vision and purpose behind AgriVijay. So we were about to get funded when we could have been a funded startup, but she gave me an advice that his vision was not aligned with our vision. And if your investor's vision is not aligned with your vision, you will never grow to a level where you want to. And you will grow to a level, you will grow to an extent, but you will never grow to a level where you want to take your organization or the startup. I think that that was a valuable advice from her side, and I made a decision that I will not move ahead with the funding round with that particular investor. And uh, I think even today, I don't regret that decision. I feel that we made a right decision, and we are now moving towards the right direction in terms of our company.
That's great. So in modern agriculture, like it makes use of electricity for every single process that it has. But solar energy lacks that consistency of energy provision. So how do you deal with that?
So what happens is even today, what happens is if you go and talk to a farmer who is already using an electrical water pump of suppose 3 horsepower, 3 HP. So when we recommend a solution to him, we recommend a 5 HP solar water pump rather than a 3 HP solar water pump, because the deficit of the energy we are already aware of. A solar water pump cannot be competent or compared to an electrical water pump of the same horsepower or same electricity consumption. Hence, we have to at least balance that deficit which is there coming from the renewable energy source product. So what we do is, if a product is on the normal lifestyle or on a conventional sources of energy, is on 5 HP or a 3 HP or a 7.5 HP, we go for the advanced version of the renewable energy product recommendation. So suppose if a farmer has a 5 HP electric water pump, we recommend him a 7.5 HP solar water pump instead of 5 HP solar water pump. So the deficit is maintained, and he doesn't feel like that he has moved into a renewable energy solution, and it's a bad product. It's not a good product, and he doesn't has the deficit of that energy also in terms of usage and utilization of that particular product for his irrigation purpose.
Okay. So my final question would be like, what's next? Like, what's in the pipeline for AgriVijay?
So our first priority is definitely funding. Besides that, we are now entering with more partnerships. We are also adding few more products such as solar dryers, e-tractors, which are already coming into the sector, because green energy tractors is next, where we can save lots of diesel, lots of maintenance costs for the farmers. Solar dryers, because lots of farmers the food wastage, we all have seen the food wastage is an integral part of our value chain. I think solar dryer will become an additional advantage for somebody who's getting into the food processing for the wastage of the food products. These two products are there in the pipeline, and other few products which needs to be listed on the platform. And I think the future looks great, and I think we will add more and more green energy products that are meant for agriculture to help farmers become, and rural households, rural women become energy independent and contribute to the climate change.
That's great. And I believe that what AgriVijay is doing to empower farmers with renewable energy is like a much needed initiative in today's world, especially when climate change has been plaguing us and it will continue to do so. So, all the
Correct.
best to you for all your future endeavors and wish you great success. And thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Komal, and
much.
thank you, VCBay, for giving us the opportunity to interact and to tell more about AgriVijay and our vision. I think support from the industry is very important when we talk about renewable energy and climate change. And together as a movement, we will definitely be able to give our larger contribution for the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals.